Okay, I'm gonna need somebody to answer this. Where on earth did 50 Cent even get the never-before-seen footage of Diddy that featured on his Netflix documentary? Like, did he open a secret vault, hack the cloud, find a dusty hard drive behind a Bad Boy Records couch? At this point, 50 Cent must have a whole CIA-level surveillance team dedicated to Diddy alone. He probably has interns whose only job is monitor Diddy 24/7 and alert me if he blinks suspiciously.
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
Well, let's just say that he didn't spare anyone in that documentary, including Diddy's mom, Janice Combs, who has been aired out to dry. So, what exactly is 50 Cent's endgame in all this? Especially when it comes to Janice Combs. First of all, in case y'all haven't seen it yet, Diddy's reps called the 4-part documentary a shameful hit piece that relied on stolen footage. They said that the footage filmed in the days before his arrest, including a phone conversation with his lawyer, was fundamentally unfair and illegal to use. But Netflix said the material was obtained legally. The statement also said that it was staggering that Netflix had given creative control to 50 Cent, who they described as a longtime adversary with a personal vendetta. They also said that Netflix is plainly desperate to sensationalize every minute of Mr. Combs' life without regard for truth in order to capitalize on a never-ending media frenzy. Now, there's obviously a lot of information about Diddy in the documentary, but let's focus on Janice Combs for now. So, in the documentary, Kirk Burroughs straight up accused Diddy of insulting and striking his own mother across the face. He claimed that he witnessed the alleged incident shortly after the deadly 1991 City College crowd crush. According to what Kirk said, he saw Janice questioning Sean about whether he had made the right decision by leaving school for the music business, especially in the wake of the tragedy. And then he alleged that Sean then put his hands on her, called her a derogatory name, and he allegedly did this without looking back. Okay, I know that this allegation about Diddy striking his mom is not new. We have seen this script before. Gene Deal has said it before.
Well, I spoke to Kirk Burroughs, and he told me some shit, bro. It's some things that I didn't even know about way back in the past. You know, like when the City College tragedy was going on and everything, and Diddy was on Sooo. You know, Kirk Burroughs was like, yo, man, I should have saw, he told me he should have saw this coming with Cassie and the way he treated women when he his mother. And I was like, he did what? And Kirk Burroughs said, yeah. I just thought because of what he was going through with the, you know, the tragedy, it was like, I was stuck on stupid for a minute, but he was like, yeah, I thought that he would grow out of it, or it was just because he was going through when mother.
Gene Deal actually talked about how he heard Diddy curse at his mom and told her to shut up, and he apparently threatened to rough up Diddy if he talked to his mom like that again.
When he cursed out, we was getting in a limousine. This when the office was on 19th Street and 5th Avenue. He said, didn't I tell you to stay out of my business? He was talking to his mother. And I said, boy, let me tell you something. If I ever hear you cuss your mother again, I'll out you. You ain't gonna bring nothing but bad luck to us. Don't you ever cuss your mother again. Gene, but I told her to stay out of my business. I didn't have no business if it wasn't for her. I'm not playing with you, man. Now you need to apologize to her.
However, can I just start by saying how crazy it is to even imagine that Diddy struck his own mother and then just walked away? I mean, what? But then again, people are also blaming Janice for the way Diddy turned out, questioning her parenting and the environment he grew up in. First of all, we know that Diddy's dad was a pimp and a dealer back in the day, but he was unalived when Diddy was pretty young.
My father, he was when I was 3 years old. I don't have like a lot of memories of my father. You know, they say, you know, you can't miss something you never had. So that's only a little ways right, you know. there's definitely been times as I've gotten older that I've missed my father, and you know, his presence not being there, having somebody not to ask like manly advice, and just things that you would ask your father. Also things that you would celebrate with him, that would make him proud.
Yes, Diddy himself talked about the memories he had of his father, and he confirmed that his dad was a dealer, and to the best of his knowledge, there are only 2 ways out of such a lifestyle. He also said that he understands that he's got his father's DNA, which he said gave him the hustler's mentality. But folks are saying that he got so much more than that from his father.
Father was a hustler, you know. He was a hustler. And so I learned early in life that there's only 2 ways out of that in jail. And, you know, made me work that even harder. So sometimes you can't just answer why, you know, things happen. But I definitely think the route that I went on, staying out the streets and, you know, hitting my books and trying to be somebody, I think he played a role in that. I think that even if we don't know our parents, we still have their DNA in us. We have their genes, and I have his hustler's mentality, his hustler spirit, his drive, his determination, you know, his swag. And you know, he's gonna be on my mind a lot today. You know what I'm saying? My father's name was Melvin Combs, and I'm Melvin's son, Sean Combs.
Now, after Diddy's dad died, his mother was scared to stay in Harlem for fear of any of them getting hurt. And because of that, she relocated to Mount Vernon and wanted to give Puff a great upbringing. Diddy's dad had street money saved, but that only lasted so long. And when that ended, she had to find ways to survive. I think Janice even once did an interview years ago with Diddy sitting next to her and said she worked as a bartender who had to wear lingerie to keep Diddy in the safe neighborhood in Mount Vernon and to keep him in private school. But here's where it gets interesting. Allegedly, to supplement what she was already earning, Janice started a pimp house where all kinds of things happened. And according to people like Suge Knight, maybe the things Diddy witnessed going on may have messed him up even further.
I'm not making an excuse because I believe in those people shouldn't have went through what they went through. But at the same time, judging Puffy, he might have some shit going on when he was young. You know, Mama ran a house. There was all kind of activities in there. He was there when he was young. He might not, some of those men might not want to teach him how to draw. There's something else flying in that landed besides that paper plane, you know?
Now, I understand that Diddy probably had a rough upbringing. A lot of people from those environments did. But at the same time, some of the things we've seen or heard about between him and his mother are undeniably unsettling. Like, there was a video that was making rounds where Diddy and his mom were kissing, and a lot of people said they found it very weird, especially at Diddy's age. In the same video, Diddy was also saying that his mother is single and ready to mingle, and because of that, he takes her to strip clubs. And by the way, they were both hooked to IV fluids, which was obviously not giving a good look considering Diddy had been accused of hooking people to IV fluids after several nights of his wild parties. I mean, we also had several women who attended Howard University with Diddy, revealing that they saw signs of a controlling personality decades ago. The women who went to school with him said there were incidents involving unwanted touching and fits of rage on campus by Diddy and women he was interested in. One woman actually claimed that she kept as far away as possible from him after he caressed her back without warning. Another former student also said that Diddy flew off the handle after she called him out for cutting the cafeteria line. A different person also gave a story about how Diddy would repeatedly harass the young lady by tapping on the window of her English class to get her to skip class. Then, another anonymous woman said that she witnessed Diddy outside of their dormitories, screaming like a maniac for his girlfriend to come outside. The source added that shortly after, Diddy was heard and seen jumping his then-girlfriend outside, literally roughing her with his belt. The woman also added, she was trying to defend herself a little bit. She was crying, and we were telling him, get off of her. We were screaming for her. Well, even with people saying all these things about Diddy, Janice still defended him. For those who recall, Janice released her statement through her attorney, saying she was profoundly saddened by the allegations her son faced, and asserted that he deserves a chance to prove his innocence in court. She also said in the statement that it is heartbreaking to see her son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies. Janice also referenced that hotel video of Diddy and Cassie, adding, I am not here to portray my son as perfect, because he is not. He has made mistakes in his past, as we all have. My son may not have been entirely truthful about certain things, such as denying he has ever gotten rough with an ex-girlfriend when the hotel's surveillance showed otherwise. The statement then continued and said, sometimes the truth and a lie become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit one part of the story, especially when that truth is outside the norm or is too complicated to be believed. This is why I believe my son's civil legal team opted to settle the ex-girlfriend's lawsuit instead of contesting it until the end, resulting in a ricochet effect as the federal government used this decision against my son by interpreting it as an admission of guilt. Watching the world make jokes and laugh at my son's life crumbling before our eyes is something I can never forget. It is truly agonizing to watch the world turn against my son so quickly and easily over lies and misconceptions without ever hearing his side or affording him the opportunity to present his side. She also suggested that people were making false allegations in order to secure a quick payday after seeing how her son settled the first lawsuit. What Diddy's mom was saying was that the federal government was using these lies to prosecute her son, adding that the injustice has been unbearable for their family. She also said that the worst part of this ordeal is watching her beloved son be stripped of his dignity, not for what he did, but for what people choose to believe about him. Then she further called upon the public, as well as her son's fans and supporters, not to rush to judgment, saying, my son is not the monster they have painted him to be, and he deserves the chance to tell his side. I can only pray that I am alive to see him speak his truth and be vindicated. Well, regardless of what Janice said, people still think she is responsible for how Diddy turned out, especially after the documentary. But given how much Janice defended Diddy and what we know about her past, am I shocked that Janice featured heavily in the documentary? No. Is she to blame for how Diddy turned out? I'ma let you be the judge of that. Let me know what you think in the comments section below.